welcome back to day 20 of Drawlloween here at Markers and Monsters. As always, I'm your humble host, Colin, and today's theme, horses and headless men. What could you do for that? Of course, the Headless Horseman. Headless Horseman is the spirit from Washington Irving's story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, if you don't know about that. But I'll talk about that here in a minute. Let's get right into the drawing. As you can see, obviously, there's a horse, and there is a headless horseman astride his back. If you noticed earlier, I had that little toy horse there. He's come in handy on a number of occasions. I bought him on discount for like $2 or something. But it's always good. I keep a lot of those little like tchotchke type things around in the old art studio here, so that if I ever need to, draw a horse like I'm doing today, I can just kind of pop that out. And it at least gives me a decent bit of the horse's anatomy. And if I'm not drawing it exactly, I can kind of extrapolate from there and, you know what I mean, go from there. It at least tells me where all the limbs are and stuff. I don't draw a ton of horses, and that's one of the reasons I keep the, little thing like that around, is because it just really helps anytime I have to. It helps to have that reference. So I would definitely recommend that for any kind of burgeoning artist. Get those little tchotchkes. I've also got like a couple of pigs and chickens and some other different animals there that, if I ever, like I said, if I ever need to, I pop them out and there we go. So as you can see here, the horse is black with those red eyes, and the Headless Horseman here, he's raising his sword up and he's got that pumpkin with the green glow inside of it. Now what's amazing to me is that the story of the Headless Horseman has, just been around for forever. It's one that's still told today. The original short story was published in a book of short stories by Irving, and that was in 1820. So yeah, that's another thing that's coming up on 200 years here in just a little bit. So it's pretty amazing. And there's my crappy old compass. Trusted friend, but you know what, he gets the job done, so that's great. So let's just add in here, once again, just like the Witches episode yesterday, I'm doing a sky color that is not just black. I'm doing this like dark green, actually, that is pine tree green is the color name I'm using there. And then I'm going to cover it with some grays and some other greens here just to give it a little bit of a darker depth. But yeah, I thought it would look good. That green sky would look pretty neat in this, this drawing, with the moon behind him and all that. But anyway, yeah, Sleepy Hollow, if you've been living under a rock or whatever and don't know what that is, basically it's a story of Ichabod Crane, who comes to Sleepy Hollow in Tarrytown, New York, in around the 1790s, and he immediately is smitten with the local wealthy family's daughter, Katrina Van Tassel, and he wants to marry her and get the family fortune and stuff. So the local, I don't know if you call him tough guy, Brom Bones, doesn't like this because he wants to marry Katrina Van Tassel. So they tell Ichabod a bunch of like ghost stories local to the area, and one about the legend of the Headless Horseman, who is in some long-forgotten battle of the Revolutionary War, he got his head blown off or cut off, and he rides forth nightly to relive the battle. He is a spirit like that. So one night at a harvest festival, Ichabod is on his way home, and suddenly this Headless Horseman appears before him, and Ichabod is frightened out of his mind. He sees that the being's head isn't on his shoulders, but right there on the saddle. And Ichabod flees with his plow horse. The local legend is if he crosses the bridge at a certain part in the river, the horseman disappears in a flash of like smoke and brimstone and goes back to, whatever infernal realm he's from. Well, Ichabod Crane rides for his life, but unfortunately when he gets to the bridge, he sees that the Headless Horseman is indeed crossing, and freaks him out. And suddenly, Headless Horseman picks his head up off the saddle and flings it at Ichabod. And that's the last anybody sees of Ichabod. Nobody knows where he went, and the old wives think that he was, taken to whatever supernatural realm the horseman came from. But the only clues that this ever happened were that they found Ichabod's horse and his saddle trampled and a smashed pumpkin. So that's one of the great things about this, is that it's very ambiguous. Like, did the horseman really drag him down to hell, or was it just Brom Bones that threw a pumpkin at him? And that's something we never know, and it's left up to our imaginations, which I love. So Let's put in some stars. Once again, this is like the 90th drawing in a row with stars in it, but it's fun. Looks good. Alright, here's the scan, and yeah, this turned out really cool. I had fun drawing it, as always, and I've never done a Headless Horseman before, and it's one of those myths that I've been needing to do for a while. So that's it for me today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks again for your views and watching all these crazy videos. I appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow for another amazing episode of Markers and Monsters. Bye.